As long as you're posting content, you're building a personal brand. And in this video, you'll learn how to build a personal brand that your audience always wants to buy from. Let's make sure we're on the same page with what a brand is. A brand is the perception and impression that your audience has when they hear your name. Or as one of my mentors, Myron Golden, likes to say, a brand is something that reminds you of a story. So every time that you post content online, you are telling people who you are. You are letting them know something about you, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not. It naturally happens. So let's say that you like to post a workout selfie every time you're done at the gym. You are letting people know that you are somebody who prioritizes health. You're somebody who values health. You're also letting them know that you are somebody who's disciplined. Whether you're posting a 4:30 a.m. or a 6:30 p.m. selfie, you are painting a picture of who you are in someone's mind. Now, let's say that you decided to step into entrepreneurship, or maybe you're already in the entrepreneurial world and you have got a health product that you want to share with people because it has really helped you optimize performance, get results, recover faster. It's giving you some kind of a solution. And now you want to share that with people. If you start talking about this product, now there is some believability around you might be credible. And the reason why I say might is because this isn't just about posting about the product and posting your selfie. That is all going to get you seen, but it won't have you positioned. And a brand that makes money online isn't just seen, it's positioned. So I'm going to give you 3 critical questions that you're going to have to say yes to make sure that you are building a brand that your audience wants to buy from. Because how many times do we see people sharing a product, and even though that person has kind of painted a picture of who they are, there's still something about it where there might be some distrust. That person might have some kind of a perception in your mind, but there's something about it that just doesn't really quite sit well. We have to understand that there's an energy behind the words that we are saying. So if you are somebody who's just posting all these selfies and now you find a product and you're like, ooh, I can make some money. This is a quick buck because people already see me a certain way. You go sharing about this product and no one buys, whether it's a product that it's an affiliate offer and it's someone else's product, or it's a method or a process that you've created yourself and no one buys. Now you're wondering, well, why isn't anybody buying? Because you're being seen, but you haven't yet been positioned. We have to be so mindful and understanding that how we're showing up online is a message. It is not just pictures, it is not just words, but it is a message. It is painting and shaping how somebody is building trust with us. And we have a lot more control than we think. Yes, they're going to be able to look at a bunch of other people kind of selling the same thing, saying the same thing. But the thing that sticks out is resonance. And the resonance comes from the message that you carry, the way that you are sharing what you are sharing. And so what we've been led to believe is that it is our credibility around our knowledge and expertise that we get paid for. But what we actually get paid for is our ability to solve a problem, our ability to add value into the marketplace. And we've been led to believe that our knowledge is valuable. So let's say you learn all about this product, or you learn more about your health and you start taking a certification. We're led to believe that the knowledge itself is why we get paid, but it's not. In the 9-to-5 world, having knowledge is important to your employer. But in the marketplace, understanding what your audience values is how you get paid. And it's how you get positioned. If you are trying to position your credibility, position the product as the best thing in the world, position the fact that you know what you're talking about because you've been through X, Y, and Z certification, none of that has anything to do with the actual problem that your audience is looking to solve, or the actual pain points that your audience is going through. None of that is creating resonance. We have to be able to see our marketing from the vantage point of our audience, of our ideal avatar. So these three questions, I don't want you to glaze over them. I don't want you to skip over them and go, oh, yeah. I want you to really think about what are your legitimate answers to these questions? Because if they're not yes, 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 and you feel a strong yes in your body, then it's very likely that you have a content strategy that is positioned around making you look good and not allowing your audience to feel seen, heard, and understood. One will get you paid, and one will leave you having crickets in your DMs, crickets in your sales. Okay? No matter how much you post. And then people think, well, I'm not getting sales, I have to post more. When you post more, but you're only showcasing what the product can do, or you're talking all about the features of the product. It's got this, it got all these things, and you're talking about, I've been using this for 5 years, I've been using this for 6 months or whatever. None of that is credible. None of that is credible because it doesn't even have a story linked to it. You're just trying to push a product onto a person. It's like, I forget what cartoon it was, or maybe it wasn't a cartoon, maybe it was a video game. But it's like you're trying to stuff all the food down into your mouth. You're trying to shove the product into someone's mouth. When you're shoving something at someone, what is the natural reaction? It's to push back. And that's what you're creating when you keep talking about the product and it's not positioned well. So let's actually get into these three questions. The first question is, am I teaching the subject or speaking to the real problem they're navigating? Oftentimes, what I see happening is you are speaking to the knowledge. You're speaking to what you know, and you are educating your audience as if you're trying to become a textbook and take your brain and put it on them so that they can learn what you know. There's a misconception that teaching someone what you know shows them that you can solve their problem. That's just not the case. Again, that works in the 9 to 5 world because, and it really depends on industries, but in the 9 to 5 world, what you know is important. And I'm not saying to not know anything in the marketplace. Don't get my words twisted. What I am saying is that's not the thing that is going to get you positioned. Credentials don't get you positioned because there's a lot of people that have no credentials, but have just figured out what their audience values, and they're making a whole lot of money because they're not trying to put themselves and their knowledge and their expertise and their credentials on a pedestal. They are allowing their market to recognize, oh, this person understands me. This person sees me. This person hears me. They know exactly what I'm going through. So you want to make sure that you are teaching and speaking on why your audience doesn't yet have the solution or have their problem solved. Because when you can speak to that, now you're adding in levels of awareness that they didn't have before. You're helping them to see a new perspective of the problem, a new perspective of a different solution. Because how many times do we hear people say, oh, I've tried that before, I've tried that before. And all you want to do is continue to share all of this stuff that you think your audience wants. And they're like, oh, I've tried that before. You look and sound like everybody else. And posting more content still isn't going to cut it. So am I teaching the subject or speaking the real problem or speaking to the real problem they're navigating? You've got to be able to answer yes and answer a convicted yes to that question. Question number 2. Am I offering a new lens that deepens their self-awareness? Self-awareness, not awareness of the textbook that you got going on in your brain. Self-awareness around the problem, self-awareness around the solution, self-awareness around them being able to achieve the desired result. Are you giving them a new insight about themselves and where they are, something that they haven't yet thought of? You know, back in 2014, when I went to the Internet Marketing for Newbies event, I was a burnt out physical therapist. I had spent 1 year working and I was like, this cannot be my life. And a guy I was dating at the time had 2 tickets to go to, well, he didn't have 2 tickets. He bought a ticket and the second ticket was half off. And he's like, do you want to come? And I said, of course, I will go to support you. But little did I know that not only was he going to catch wind in this entrepreneurial space, but so was I. My eyes were so big. What I saw was a new perspective on how to make money. I saw a new perspective on how to serve a lot of people. I saw a new perspective on how to take my expertise and bring it online. Me going to that event is why I'm here today. And that was back in 2014. That's how long my journey has been going. And I've had some ups and downs and some pivots. But had I not gone to that event, had I not gotten a new perspective, I wouldn't be here. Think about a new perspective that you've gotten. You wouldn't be here. Even when it comes to learning about sales. In my last video, I talked about the triggers that make people buy. That's a new perspective of looking at sales and looking at content, where a lot of people are used to creating content and just putting it up there, having a sales script, being so generic in their process. But in that video, I give you a new perspective to see sales. I give you a new perspective to see the triggers that are allowing your people to really buy from you. In this video is a new perspective of a personal brand, because your content can do most of the heavy lifting, if not all of it, to bring in the sales for you, to attract your audience and to pull out those ideal customers and clients. But you don't do that without having the perspective. So whatever industry you're in, this is what you're doing for your people. You're giving them a new perspective. They don't want to learn what you know in your brain. That doesn't equate to them believing that you are somebody who can help them. You've got to showcase that you understand them, see them, and hear them. So am I offering a new lens that deepens their self-awareness? And the third question, let me just say this too. You can't teach your way into a sale. You cannot teach your way into a sale. If you are attempting to do that, you're really pushing your audience away because they're like, wow, this person's really smart. Wow, this person really knows what they're talking about. But none of that equates to this person can help me. And that is the only question that your audience is really asking. Can this person help me? Not how smart are you? Let's say you bumped your head on the street. You're not going to be like, are you qualified to help me? Are you qualified to, call 911? Are you qualified to give me that rag in your pocket to wipe my head? Are you qualified to even sit here? No. They're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You're not like, here's my card, here are my qualifications. You're not doing any of that. You're going out and helping that person. And you're showcasing that you can help that person by asking, hey, are you okay? Do you need a rag? Do you need me to call a person? Do we need to call 911? The credentials is not the qualification. Your knowledge is not the qualification. This all boils down to your ability to package your knowledge, to position it in the marketplace as something someone wants to buy. I've often heard people say, and it's something that I've used and I think it's hysterical, if you want a kid to eat a carrot, cover it in chocolate. Because the carrot, they're like, ooh, I don't want that. But they want chocolate. They want chocolate. So when you cover it in chocolate, now they think it's something. Now, I'm not saying this is a manipulative process, a deceiving process. I'm not saying any of that. But what I am saying is that people often do not know what it is they really need. But you as the expert know what they need. And it's not to understand your knowledge. It's to understand what's been holding them back, what belief has been holding them back from achieving the result, what perspective they need to have in order to achieve a result, what new tangible action item you can go tell them to take that's going to help them get a result. I recently told a person who was talking to me about some swelling in their legs. I said, go sit on the wall and put your legs up on the wall. It's a great thing to do. It's just going to help your legs to drain and all that lactic buildup to kind of circulate. That was a tangible action step I gave that person to do. It's going to help them get closer to a solution. I didn't say, it's really good to help improve your circulation because circulation helps to remove the waste. I didn't go into a lecture. I went into, here's the action step. Here's what you need to do next. So make sure you are letting your audience know what they need to do next, what belief they need to have next, and let them know what beliefs they have right now that aren't serving them. Right now, the belief you have is, I got to keep posting more. I got to post 3 reels a day. I got to make 5 YouTube videos a week. I'm not saying more isn't better, but what I am saying, if you're already going in the wrong direction, doing more of it isn't going to be helpful. If you're already trying to go east, but you're headed west and you step on the gas, you're just going faster in the wrong direction. You double down on more videos, on more posts and more things when you're already going in the right direction. Okay, question number 3. Will they leave this post thinking differently about themselves or their possibilities? Will they leave this post thinking differently about themselves or possibilities? Interchange, will they leave this post with, will they leave this video, blog, whatever? Will they leave this post thinking differently about themselves or their possibilities? Can they see themselves as somebody now who can achieve the result? Did you leave something empowering instilled in them where they're like, I can do it? Where they now have a new belief inside of them thinking, yes, I can achieve that result? Because if someone is looking to achieve a result, but they don't think that they can achieve it, well, they're not buying. They're not buying at all. So part of creating the content is also helping them believe that they're somebody who can get that result and letting them know that, hey, you haven't tried everything because I've got a new perspective. So can they now see the possibility of achieving the solution, the possibility of the result? Can you already make them feel like they've got it? Here's something I know about sophisticated buyers. They don't buy a product. They actually buy certainty. And what makes them certain to buy from you, and what actually makes you a brand, a profitable brand that people always want to buy from, is that you have already helped them to get a result before they have paid you. You've already shaped their mind in a certain way to see a completely new landscape of their problem, a new landscape of their solution. Because most people think, I've tried it all. They think they've tried it all, but they haven't met you. And because they haven't met you, no, they haven't tried it all. Why? Because you've got that extra piece that they've been looking for. But they're never going to know it if you keep trying to teach in your content and teaching what's in your brain. Teach them ways to look at their problem, to build the belief within themselves, and to build belief in what is possible from them. And this is how you are going to create a profitable personal brand that your audience always wants to buy from. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.